Welcome to Green Talk by Green Care Solutions on KCAA, NBC Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and YouTube. Today we have Dr. Beeks. I'm your host, Breal, with my co-host.
Hey everyone, it's Yanitza Munoz.
And I'm Brian Gonzalez with Green Care Solutions.
And it's your girl, Angela Mazzanti here.
This is a cannabis-friendly and educational program. You must be 21 years of age to listen. We are not doctors, but Green Care Solutions has doctors for you.
Yeah, so give us a call at 951-609-4071 if with any questions that you may have. We're a 13-time award-winning company featured on Forbes and Yahoo Finance.
And make sure you give us a follow on Instagram at Green Care Solutions 420. Our new website is greencaresolutions.com, and then we also have greentalknews.com.
Let's get into the show. Welcome, Dr. Beeks.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Beeks, we brought a little mascot for you representing what you do for a living. Dr. Beeks is a professional veterinarian, and you have many, many years of practicing this, and we're definitely going to get into the subject of CBD for pets.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you came down from Apple Valley, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. If anybody didn't know, it's kind of like basically on the way to Vegas if you're coming from California. So she's out there. But you want to explain your business and how you're a mobile service and everything as well?
Yes. My business is Angels Touch Mobile Veterinary Services, and we service the high desert, Apple Valley, Lucerne, Victorville, even Big Bear. So I actually go on location to some of these other places. Most of the time we are in Apple Valley, but several times of the week we're going off to Big Bear or Lucerne. We have set dates now for Silver Lakes. So these are places that don't have veterinarians, or they're very few. And we're a low cost spay neuter. And then I also do other types of surgeries, spleen removals and tumor removals, things like that, at a lower cost than what a lot of people can afford nowadays.
I love that we love our pets, right? They become our children in a sense eventually because they're so loving and cute, unconditional love. And Angela brought her pet, Nacho. I'm assuming a Chihuahua. He's just chilling.
Yeah, he's a little Chihuahua mix. We adopted him on Halloween last year, so definitely recommend everybody to adopt any pets or take in any strays that you see.
So does he have anxiety since you adopted him? Because I'm sure people use CBD, correct? That's what they use sometimes for dogs with anxiety or pain, inflammation.
Absolutely. It works really well in these dogs that have anxiety. Of course, we don't have enough information as far as any companies that have sat down and done different types of lab results, but we have done through our own clinic as well, used it with pets that have anxiety and they don't want to put them on Prozac. That's one of the other medications that are out there, because now you have to worry about their liver and their kidneys and things like that. Whereas with CBD, we don't seem to have that problem.
Do you find more people are opening up to getting CBD products for their dogs?
Yes, nowadays more people, they want to go natural. They don't want to be using drugs that are affecting the kidney and the liver. All of your supplements, whether it's ones that we use for exercise and things like that, you still have to use them and make sure that they're healthy products, because a lot of the products out there are not healthy. Because you don't know where they're coming from. They haven't been tested. Do they have pesticides in them? Do they have insecticides in them? Do they have heavy metals in them? Those are all things you want to know before you go giving that to your pet, because now you're going to fix him with one thing and he's going to have a problem with something else.
Which is just like the pharmaceutical companies, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, don't the pharmaceutical companies also create a lot of the things for our pets as well? And with that, I mean, there is like pet insurance, but not everyone buys it.
Pet insurance is kind of hard because it only covers certain things, and like with our insurance as well, it's a percentage. It's costly, so it's not something that's inexpensive. It would become a monthly fee, which a lot of your most of the people out there can't afford that. Some of your upper class people who don't have a whole bunch of kids, if you have a bunch of kids, who's going to come first? Your kids or your pet. So unfortunately, the pet industry has gotten a little out of hand as far as veterinarian care. It's very expensive. Most people don't get out under $150, $200. Luckily, at my practice, we try to make it very reasonable, and a lot of my cases are all under $100. Spay and neutering now has gotten out of hand, so people just don't spay and neuter. And then their pets end up with cancer and things like that.
How many clients have you had since you started your own practice? What has it been, about a year or so?
We just hit our 1 year in February, and we have over 2,400 patients already.
Good
in
for
1
you.
year. And I've seen your reviews and everything, and people just, love that you show compassion on a lot of the reviews. They love the pricing, like you already spoke about. So, and you're mobile. I mean, out in the high desert, everything's kind of few between out there. So, I mean, that's great that you have your actual mobile service on site. You go to different clinics and everything as well, too, right?
Well, not to other clinics, just other areas
Okay.
with our personal clinic.
Okay, gotcha.
But the main thing is educating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not only educating them on the spay and neuter, we educate them on the medications that are available. Why would they use a CBD product instead of using carprofen, which is for inflammation and pain? And with carprofen, that pet does have to be seen once a year and does have to have blood work done.
They got to be monitored, right?
Yes,
Because
because you could have problems.
Yeah. And
And you've seen with our Green Care Solutions pet products, I mean, you've seen all the ingredients and everything like that. What is your take on our dog chews as far as what you've seen?
I've had a lot of success with patients who have tried your dog chews. They like them. The product is a clean product, and that's what's important. It is tested, so we don't have to worry about insecticides and pesticides or heavy metals.
Yeah, real ingredients. If you look in there, you can actually pronounce every ingredient on the list.
And what's cool too is the source, it's made in the USA, and sometimes when you get things overseas, you don't know how it was packaged. Like that's how you get heavy metals a lot in products. And Brian has some interesting news in regards with Green Care Solutions. Now it's part of just signed a contract with Fortune Media Group.
Yeah, absolutely. Our owner, Freddie Rashid, actually flew out to Florida last week, and we actually signed a contract to distribution and media and national advertising with Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks from Shark Tank. So we're going to literally be everywhere. So just kind of stay tuned to our website, to our Instagram, and kind of look the things we're going. I mean, we're going to be in all different markets. We got our CBD hookahs, we got our pet products, we got the roll-on topicals. So we're really excited about that. So just stay tuned, and we literally are going to be everywhere. So just stay tuned.
And you're also doing something with Cbd Horse Pellets.
Well, we're starting to develop the horse pellets because we find that, horses, they're a different animal, so you have to really watch what you give them. They can colic easily. But the products that they're using right now, the same as with dogs and cats, is you have problems, one, with ulcers. So if the horse isn't eating, you can't give them those products. The same with dogs and cats. If they aren't eating, they can't take a carprofen, the doggy aspirin. And it's the same with the horse, because now you're trying to treat one thing, now you have an ulcer, so now something else is going on. So that's why we're getting ready to develop the CBD pellets for horses. It helps with anxiety. A lot of horses, especially our performance horses, our race horses, they get anxious. It's not that they don't want to compete. They love competing, but they still get anxious with all these other horses around them. I also do a thing called PRP, which is...
Isn't that plasma rejuvenation procedure?
It's actually plasma-rich protein plasma...
But I know what you're talking about.
PRP is they do it for humans now, too. They're just starting on humans. We've been doing it with dogs for over several years right now, and we're doing it with horses. But it's platelet rich plasma. So they're spinning down their blood. It has to be their blood. It can't be another horse's blood. And you get this rich plasma that now kind of has stem cells in it, and you inject it into the areas so that now that area can rejuvenate instead of doing surgery. It's very less invasive. We find it's working really well. We like to use with the dogs, we like to put them on the CBD as well with the procedure, to help them heal faster, and we're having excellent results.
Very well said, and that's so interesting too, how humans do PRP. It's very common with women. I've actually done it before. They do it for facials. But with animals too, I mean, it just shows how much what we already have on our earth, like with hemp and CBD. A lot of listeners always email us at Green Talk that they don't know the difference between hemp and CBD. And what is the difference, especially when it comes with pets, like the hemp seed oil and the cannabinoids?
Well, the main thing that you want is, the reason you want it from hemp is you're going to have less THC. Animals do not need THC. Actually, animals don't like THC because that makes them feel funny. So now they don't like to feel funny, and cats more so than dogs, but they don't like that funny feeling, and it's not needed. We found that when we use the hemp plant, we get more CBD than you would out of a cannabis plant that's higher in THC. And the more CBD, the better. And so that, people who are afraid of it, though, it's cannabis. Well, hemp is a cannabis plant. It just doesn't have the high...
it has the lowest grade of THC.
THC in it. And they don't need the THC is what they're finding.
They're super sensitive to THC, correct?
Yes.
Now, for any listeners out there, say their pet does get a hold of something THC related, what are the best things that they can do to kind of like calm their dog down and see their dog or their pet in general through it?
Well, the main problem that you found when dogs were ingesting THC, it was because most people were making brownies. So it wasn't the THC that was affecting the dog. No, it was the chocolate.
The chocolate. Well, yeah.
Yeah, dogs.
They were giving their dogs chocolate?
Well, no, the dogs would
They
still
get into it.
they would steal the brownie.
Oh, I see.
So the brownie has chocolate in it. Dogs don't have the enzymes to break the chocolate down, so the chocolate actually becomes toxic.
Yeah, it could kill the dog.
It can, but the actual THC can't kill them. It's just like with people. It can't kill you. All it's going to do is make you pass out. And
Get some high.
Yes, and it could last for 24 hours. What we normally do with animals like that is we put them on IV fluids. So you just flush them out. There really isn't anything else that we do, is getting them flushed out so that it comes out of their system and it will wear off. We've never had any animal that came in from eating either marijuana, brownies, OD, where they actually died from it.
Yeah.
Because even the chocolate isn't going to be as high as, say, a dark cooking chocolate, but it can make it sick, and the chocolate could affect their kidneys, whereas the CBD or even the marijuana isn't going to affect their kidneys.
I recommend for everyone to Google what's poisonous to dogs because even onions are bad. So sometimes we give our dog a steak from we go have dinner and there could be onions or garlic seasoned on there and you give it to your dog. It's really bad for them.
Avocado,
yeah.
And grapes too.
Actually, avocado isn't.
Oh, I
really?
didn't know that.
Avocados are good. The seed is very toxic. There's a lot of seeds out there that are toxic. Apricot, they have cyanide in them. Grapes are one you do not give your dog. So grapes or raisins, because raisins are just dried up grapes. So those are the things you don't want to give your dogs.
What is the effect that grapes have on the dog?
That's another one that could affect the kidneys, and
They can't process it.
They can't process them, so it becomes toxic. And then, of course, anything that's toxic in your body is going to be filtered by your liver and your kidney. So those are the two things that are going to take a hit.
And that's,
hear that, Nacho? Don't get in the trash.
Yeah.
and that's one thing I want to go over kind of with the horse pellets is you mentioned one time that they are not allowed to have molasses, I believe, or something in their system doesn't allow that.
No, they can have molasses, but you have to be careful that they're eating.
Okay.
So the normal one that we would give them is like a carprofen.
Okay.
That's like an aspirin, and that does cause ulcers.
Okay.
And a lot of racehorses, unfortunately, get ulcers just from stress.
So do Great Danes. I used to have a Great Dane, R.I.P. They only live, unfortunately, to be 7 or 8. Mine passed away at 8, so he hit his prime, but they have a hard time. I think it's also their body mass has a lot to do with it, I believe.
Yeah, but it's just the stress. The stress on them will cause the ulcers in the stomach, and then they actually bleed out from the ulcer.
No bueno. But with CBD as well, Breal has this problem with his THC products. A lot of people do fake labeling and people imitate his brand. They say that it's his, but he knows it's not his. And the people who understand cannabis know. But there's a lot of people who listen to Green Talk who are brand new to the industry. They want to use the products. But what advice do you give them to avoid? Obviously no 7-Elevens, no gas stations, things like that.
Yeah, you have to watch.
Even Amazon, you have to be careful.
Yeah, you just have to watch the products and make sure they're tested. Look on the label. See that the label does have a barcode on it, number one. Number two, it should have a
Like a batch number?
A batch
or a lot
number.
Yeah.
And the reason you have to have the batch or lot number, if something does happen with that product on that batch, they can recall those batches, just like with all of our
Yeah.
other foods
You
that are
can trace
out there.
that batch back.
And that's the
Yeah.
main reason. So you want to make sure that they are being tested. There's a lot of products out there. So what people will do is they'll buy the CBD from China, have it shipped here, and go ahead and mix it with some coconut oil or something like that, and then say, "Oh, it was made in the USA." Well,
Yeah, 'cause
the
anybody
CBD
can put
wasn't
any-
from there.
Anybody can
Yes.
put anything on a label. That's the first and foremost. So when something's just too cheap to be true, and you kind of looking at different prices, reputable brands, and it's just something's half, 3/4 of the price, I mean, just make a wise decision.
Yeah. Always check out your source. And if you always have a question, there's a lot of places out there nowadays. There's one called Blacklist, but there's other places like Green Talk that you can call and find out, hey, do you know if this product's any good? But, go through that trouble because you don't want your pet ending up with another problem.
And that's
because
how
of the
people get
toxins.
sick, and that's why people sometimes are like, "Oh, it's snake oil. This is horrible. It shouldn't be legal." But it's because there's other people that are cutting corners.
Yeah, depending on where you get it, who you get it from.
Yeah.
There's so many knockoffs and bootlegs and people, selling people a false product doesn't even have CBD in it.
Correct. Some of it doesn't have it in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that doesn't help the stigma that CBD doesn't work or whatnot. So stick with the brand. And like you said, give us a call at 951-609-4071. We have like COAs, certificate of analysis on all our products. So we'll be glad to go over it with you. Any questions you have, our pet products. Dr. Beeks is, vouches for our pet products. So, she wouldn't do that if she know that, she was taking care of all our clients that way. So, just give us a call if you have any questions.
Absolutely.
And Angela, what kind of problems does your dog have before we wrap the show? Because he's here. He's a guest of the show, Nacho.
So he just has this weird kind of problem where he's running and like his back leg, he'll kind of like pick up one of his back legs while he's running. So he's running on like 3 legs. That's the only problem I really notice. And then sometimes he gets a little bit of anxiety with like fireworks going off or anything like that. So yeah, I think those are the main ones. But I try to give him CBD tincture like on his food at night, and then CBD dog treats from Green Care, obviously, but in little pieces since he's a little guy.
Because you give the tinctures to your clients, is the GCS tinctures. Which ones do you prefer? The dog treats tinctures?
Actually, both. We let them know where they're available, that we have them available for them, as well as my own pets. So I have a 8-year-old Rottweiler who has hip dysplasia, and so she has been on CBD. She was actually brought in, and we decided to keep her instead of putting her to sleep and put her on the products to see if they would help her. And it's made a big difference. She's out running with the other big dogs. She doesn't run as far as they do, but she goes on the 5 acres now, and she'll go all over it. So I've seen a lot of success with that, but also I have patients who have epilepsy. So when your dog has, and cats can get epilepsy, when they have epilepsy, the big thing is we put them on phenobarbital. That's the same thing that we were putting our children on that have epilepsy, and now we're trying to get them off it and get them onto the CBD.
Because they're seeing a lot of side effects from that, correct?
And brain development as well, I believe.
Right. Well, with phenobarbital, it does destroy the liver. So, and that happens in humans as well as in pets. And so we try now to see if we can't get them on a lower dose of phenobarbital or get them off of the phenobarbital completely. And some of my patients have been able to get off of the phenobarbital. They're only on the CBD.
Yeah, go ahead, B.
Are they doing full spectrum CBD or just CBD?
Just CBD right now. And it's still, in the stage where they're still trying to do studies on it. There are different companies out there, I believe, who are trying to use the animals to do studies. It's a little bit harder because you have to find the dog that has epilepsy. So what they do is they use different practices out there that are actually paid by different drug companies to use their patients to try certain drugs. And so that's what we should be doing more with the CBD products.
Yeah, because the tinctures are a little bit more fast acting, because there's a lot of videos out there with children that have epilepsy that use the tincture drops. And I mean, it's crazy how fast and effective it is. So for something like that, you'd probably recommend a tincture, right? Because it kind of gets in their bloodstream a little quicker.
Absolutely. And that's what we even do at our practice. So if we have a dog that comes in, normally you give them Valium. And when they come in, I give them CBD right away. And
Awesome.
How
within
quickly?
less than 5 seconds.
Less than 5
They will
seconds.
stop
Wow.
their seizure.
Dang.
That's
That saves lives, in my opinion.
awesome.
It just shows the value of the product and how people and animals all like need CBD in their systems.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Great
have-
that they can absorb it that fast.
Yeah.
And we all-
Anything through your oral cavity, you will absorb faster. And that's the good thing about it. Now, I've had one patient that it didn't work on. But nothing did. Neither did the phenobarbital. So there are some patients, and
That
it
are
could be,
beyond
because
that
it could be
treatment.
that it's a brain tumor, but they didn't want to spend the money to go have a CAT scan done to
That's
their animal.
expensive.
Yeah, it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, another thing too, for people that use it for inflammation, a lot of people forget they have to use it more than once. They think it's just like Tylenol, which can be very strong, and you're like, okay, I'm healed. But with CBD, you kind of have to use it like twice, 3 times a day for a week or so for maybe joint pain. Is it the same with dogs?
yes, so most of the dogs are on it twice a day. I usually tell them it could only last about 8 hours. Just like most things, because it is a receptor. So you have CBD receptors in the body. So the receptor, after a while, it wears off. So you should be doing it at least twice a day. Some animals do need to have it 3 times a day.
Do you think it's something that you should keep giving your pet over the course of time, or is there a time where you should stop?
Well, it all depends on the pet. So it depends what the illness is. So I have, believe it or not, a cat that was coming into my practice, and this cat vomited every day. Just it would eat, it would vomit. We changed the food, couldn't find anything wrong with the cat. We tried CBD on it. The cat quit vomiting. Now the cat vomits maybe once a month, which could be just be hairball. So that cat has to stay on it all the time. And whenever the owner runs out, the cat starts vomiting again. So it's an anxiety thing. So when you have a pet that has a lot of anxiety, it works really well, but it is something they do have to take every day.
Yeah, just like Montel when he was on our show, it's like we have systems. We have to feed our endocannabinoid system. So taking it every day, it helps save his life, he said, every day. So, of course, people want to, have budgets and everything like that. But even to get smaller doses in you every day, humans, pets, I mean, myself, I've taken it straight now for about 11 months and I couldn't feel any better. So I couldn't even imagine me even stop taking it because of, how much I feel better. So I'm sure it's like that with pets and anything else.
Well, yeah, because we're exposed to so many toxins nowadays. And, the air, the water.
Coronavirus. No, I'm just kidding. I never.
Even the foods, there are so many toxins out there anymore that's the reason. So our bodies aren't getting what they need.
Even when you go to Starbucks, which I need to stop going to, that should be my Lent for Lent. Stop going to Starbucks. They have like a disclaimer, like our coffee could cause cancer, and you see that when you're ordering, you're like, oh, okay, you still pay for it.
Yeah.
It's just a norm now for us.
But it's true. There are just so many things out there, and we don't know why is it. So what is it that's in it that's causing it?
FDA is so lenient on food and what a fast food chain can give us, but yet we have to go through so many channels to let them know what CBD, an all natural thing, can do for us. So it's crazy. But with our talk show, we always like to educate and keep bringing it out to as many people as we can. So,
and hopefully they'll start cracking down on Amazon, because our products are now going to be in Amazon this month. But what we've noticed is there's so many fake labeling out there, and they'll have barcodes, but it comes from China, which totally fine. I don't care if people make money, good for them, but it just, you don't know what's in it. It was the problem. So
Right.
people, and you'll know it's weird because it'll be like 1,000, sometimes 20,000 milligrams hemp
seed oil
for $15. And it's like, the math doesn't make sense. How
the
can
math
that?
it's not. It doesn't add up.
Yeah, we're in the business. We know what things cost, and you just look at that and laugh. But the normal consumer, they don't know.
20,000 milligrams of hemp. How much would
Unrealistic.
How much would that be? Really,
You can do hemp seed oil, which is super cheap, but
Yes.
does not give you any really benefits. I mean, that can help with ailments. But when you get actually hemp extract that has actually CBDs and everything in it, I mean, that's what makes
It'll
a big
be like
difference.
$200, right? If it's 20,000 milligrams.
Oh, okay. That's 20 grams of CBD. Absolutely.
Yeah, so the math is totally off. But I want to thank you again, Dr. Beeks, for being on Green Talk by Green Care Solutions. I know you came out here to educate everybody, and I know people that are listening and watching definitely learned something new. What is your website and social media handle so people can look you up and maybe book with you?
So it's angelstouchvet.com. We're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. We are in the high desert. We do go by appointments only. We can't have walk-ins just because we're in too many different areas unless it's just a vaccine clinic, which we do some of those.
Nice. Well, Angela, I know, loves the GCS products, and her dog is just chilling right now. He probably had some CBD earlier.
Right. He did have some CBD earlier.
Do you have any pets, B?
Yeah, I have a little dog at home as well.
Okay, yeah.
We give him CBDs now and then.
And just one other thing about the, imports. People remember places like China, when they import their things into the United States, they do not have the restrictions that the companies in the United States have.
Very true.
So that is why there was so many pet foods have been recalled, is because they were made in China. And when they were made in China, they were putting poison in there. And that's why dogs were having kidney failure and dying. Well, the same thing is happening with the CBD, so you have to be very careful.
Even cosmetics, because Angela and I, we've been talking about this. When you get, and they do knockoffs too, but they'll put like plastic and silicone and crazy
Just
things.
cheap material to try to like make a couple extra bucks.
They would even put glue on the lipsticks so that it stays on your lips longer. But then after a while, women were getting crazy like sores and acne, and then they would go to the dermatologist, and no one could figure it out till now that they had all these harsh chemicals. Same with makeup and eyeliner. But if you see it for 99 cents and it sounds too good to be true, look at the ingredients.
Probably is too good to be true.
Yeah,
Well, that's the same thing with CBDs, even for humans. A lot
Even
of that
THC
stuff,
products, like
you got to watch where that comes from. Do the diligence.
Do the diligence.
And the dog food, when I had my pet Angel, that was their name. I had her for 10 years. I'd go to PetSmart and you'd have recall. You see empty shelves and it's just like, okay, think I'm getting something good, but then something's recalled. So you just never know, but you always make the best decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right on.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Beeks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Beeks.
Thank you, guys. And again, this is Yanitza Munoz, and you're watching Green Talk. I'm here with my amazing host.
And I've been Brian Gonzalez with Green Care Solutions.
And it's your girl Angela Mazzanti and Nacho.
And it's Be Real, a.k.a. Dr. Green Thumb.
Thank you, Dr. Beeks, and everyone. Her website's at the bottom of the screen. Till next time.